Hello and welcome to the Berkcast, the How to Train Your Dragon podcast. I'm your host, HC, and with me are...
Whoa.
And also me, Ian Chi, the rescue riders expert.
Yup, indeed. But before we get to what Ian is so expert about, happy 10th anniversary How to Train Your Dragon.
Woo!
The official US release date of the first How to Train Your Dragon movie was yesterday at the time of this recording. And Ian and I actually took place in a How to Train Your Dragon watch, which was really fun.
That was very fun.
And that's so I just want to start this before we get into our main event by saying this has been an amazing 10 years. I'm happy I joined this fandom. I'm happy I met you guys, and I'm happy that we have this podcast to celebrate what's so great about this franchise.
And DreamWorks celebrated the 10th anniversary with a almost 1 hour special of the best How to Train Your Dragon thing they've ever released.
Yeah, exactly. Well, a day late, but you can't blame them.
They're close.
I think something. I think the only reason this was a day late is because it's on Friday and not a Thursday.
Do you think someone over there scheduling was just like, should we do this a day early just to piss off fans?
Like something. I think someone was either highly aware that it was so close to the day. Like, someone was so sure that it was so close to the day, or there was someone there who just decided to release it, and then he saw the DreamWorks Instagram and Twitter accounts and was like, oh.
All right. Oh, man, it would have been really awkward if DreamWorks forgot yesterday. Because they celebrated the Trolls, or the Croods release. I think Monday.
No. I think considering whenever one of the movies came out, and even when Rescue Riders was out and Race to the Edge, DreamWorks usually gave enough advertisement for this, so I'm not surprised, all things considered.
I'm still waiting for the behind the scenes documentary for the third film. I'm waiting for it, Dean. Come on, give it
one day.
One day.
But anyway, so happy 10th anniversary How to Train Your Dragon, and now to our feature presentation, the new Dragon's Rescue Riders movie/TV special /
It's been 10 years and now we're here.
Yeah, it all led to this.
It's all led to Rescue Riders, the hunt for the Golden Dragon.
Yep.
Rescue Riders is still our most viewed episode, so the fandom agrees it is the best How to Train Your Dragon thing.
Yes.
I will never not mention this. I will never not get over this. I don't know what you guys are doing when it comes to watching these videos. Like, I don't know why. They're both well over 2K, one almost up to 10K, but you do, and I love it. I love the madness.
You see,
Jesus.
They're coming in droves.
This was the guy rushing home to listen to us review Dragon
Rescue Riders.
It was just like, hold on, there's like a feature thing going out for Rescue Riders. Let me get home, man. But yes, it's.
But sir, it will be there tomorrow. I need to watch it now.
It's Rescue Riders.
So I mean, they started pretty much the same as How to Train Dragon 3, didn't they?
Yeah. Actually, before we get to the special stuff, I just want to say that DreamWorks has recently started doing this. That their shows on Netflix started getting like specials, which are like a double episode, which is a different title on Netflix than the rest of the show, and I'm honestly not sure how to feel about this, because it's still an episode, it still plays the opening, so why not just hold on for the next season?
Well, I mean, this did kind of connect to the main story a little bit.
It also connected. I mean, we're still in the non-spoiler section, so we'll give our general thoughts. But it did also connect to How to Train Your Dragon in general a little bit more this time as well.
Well,
Well,
we'll probably cut to that elephant in the room.
yeah, we do know that there are more. We'll talk about that when we get to spoilers. But
Oh, when they
for now,
called out the last, I was just like, they're not gonna actually, right? And they did it.
yeah, but
Oh God.
the thing is about if we can talk about this from before we start delving into the thing itself. What do you think about the idea that we just got a double episode separated from the rest of this?
I'm fine
It's
with
weird.
it. Like,
It messes up the catalog of Netflix, but otherwise I'm completely fine with it. This is not under Rescue Riders. It's separate under
which is a bit annoying.
its own special. Yeah, it is a little annoying
because you have to go and hunt for it by itself. Like, you have to type in Rescue Riders because
Oh,
you can't
I see
find it
what
as
you did
easily.
there.
That was
Yeah,
completely
I don't know
unintentional.
because the thing is, Netflix has specials of series, but they have it under a different specials thing under the season.
Again, with DreamWorks, I noticed like I haven't watched that show besides the first season, but with the Captain Underpants show, they do the exact same thing. Whenever they have a special, the special is like a different title, separated from the show itself. And
I did want to say do one for How to Train Dragon, but then I remembered that Homecoming is a thing.
Yeah.
Whoops.
There's also like something about this that with Captain Underpants I can kind of see how you can do a special because it's a superhero show and stuff and you can do. But for some reason when I said that there's going to be like a Rescue Rider special like this, I was honest. I was like honestly. I don't want to say I raised an eyebrow at this, but at the same time, it's not. Did you? Because I remember when I tagged you guys and told you, okay, we are gonna do this, and you were like, really? This got a movie, quote unquote, like because it's not. It's not the type of show. It's not the type of show that really does a movie, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
But credits to them, it didn't feel like they stretched much out either. It did feel like it needed the time that it did get, at least.
Agreed.
Yeah, and if we are kind of quick transitioning into this, I thought the special was all right. It had a decent plot to carry it forward. Like Ian said, I don't think they really stretched anything in order to make it movie length or a special length. I thought it was a decent idea for for a bigger event rather than a normal episode.
I mean, it's very different. They completely just kept Huts Galore just away from this. If you don't like Evil Hiccup or you don't like Chief Huggard, then this is something for you to watch, I guess.
Yeah, and on that note, it also kind of I think one of the main things I try to do is actually so kind of start doing more world building because we did get some new characters. We do have a new dragon. There seems to be hints at lore which we will get into, and again, like you said,
talk about the new characters first, then.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not. They're probably gonna come back eventually.
Maybe.
It's still, since these are new characters, I want to keep it in spoilers because
fair enough.
But overall, I think it was fine. If you enjoy Rescue Riders, then I would say it's a fine addition to the entire franchise. With that said, though, I don't think if you haven't been sold on the idea before, this won't change your mind.
Oh no.
No.
It's if you like the show and enjoy the show, this is more of that. It's just like an extended version of the show. Like I know Oh, go ahead.
I mean, if you're not sure about it yet and you haven't watched anything, then this might actually be something to watch, which would make up your mind.
Yeah, you know what? If that's the case, I would say treat it as like a kind of a pilot of a pilot episode.
Just a general feel of it.
Yeah,
I guess you could do that because there's nothing that inherently links this back to the show, really.
Well,
I mean, there's stuff that links
Because
it, but you don't need to have watched the first 2 seasons in order to watch
they
this.
explain it all.
Yeah.
yeah, and on that note, I also think that in terms of writing and comedy, this is I laughed more at this than the rest of the show.
They still H2 really love that joke.
Well, they used it once.
They used it
Maybe.
once, but
Did
once
they?
too much. Yeah,
I don't
they
even
did.
remember them using it. It just kind of whoosh. I guess I've
Yeah,
just gotten
no.
so used to it.
Yeah,
You
no.
know,
Eventually,
on that
Summer
note-
said H2 on it.
Yeah,
she did.
she
Completely
did
missed
say
that.
it, but at the same time, I'm like, it's a character's catchphrase. I can't really do anything about it. I mean,
Oh yeah, they could just stop using it.
yeah, but at the same time, you realize that when you say about this character, you can stop using it. You can also say like Michelangelo in the Ninja Turtles can stop saying Kawabanga. It
Oh, he
doesn't matter.
could.
Well, yeah, but
It's-
that's a good catchphrase.
I know,
That's
but at the same
debatable.
time, I know Wolf is a hater here, but
But
at
the
the same
H2
time,
on it is way worse.
yeah,
You
no,
can agree to that.
Yeah,
No,
of
that's
course,
better.
but
It's better. Okay.
yeah, okay.
I see. All right.
It's not
sure.
dated.
Yeah. Win get in Ian, but on that note, but I'd say it's okay. It's good. It's good for what it is. If you like Rescue Riders, I think you'll enjoy this one just
Yeah.
as much. And if you enjoy both Rescue Riders and the original Hunter and Dragon franchise, I know, mind blowing. You can enjoy one and the other as well.
I know.
But so if you like, well, I think you also enjoy some of the winks they have in this. So
Oh, yeah.
this is my non-spoiler thoughts.
Yeah, I liked it. It wasn't too bad. I did feel like at the beginning of the show, I was like, I am supposed to hate this, but I love this. It's
Mhm.
it's just like a guilty
Welcome
pleasure
to the
in a way.
dark
It's like,
side.
yeah, it's weird. I do
Yeah.
enjoy it. If the thing is, I completely separated it from Head Train Dragon thus far, and we'll get on to why I hated the part of this. But yeah, I I liked it.
So
It wasn't too bad.
with that said, should we jump ahead into the spoiler?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think we kind of said all we can for non-spoilers. It's again, like if you've liked the show so far, if you've liked Rescue Riders so far, you'll enjoy this. If you haven't, this could be something that gets you into it, but I doubt it. Like it's still more of the same. It's nothing spectacular or amazing. They didn't have a bigger budget or anything like that. It doesn't look even better than what it did before. It's still
Oh
the
no,
same.
don't expect the animation to be better. No,
Yeah.
it wasn't.
And most importantly, don't expect Winger to be better because my God, I hate this dragon.
Oh, I still love Winger. I don't know why you hate him so much. I love
Because
Winger.
he's boring. He's so
Winger-
boring.
Winger, I feel like Winger
Oh,
most of the
okay.
time is just like Toothless if he could talk to Hiccup.
Because Toothless is interesting and he would actually say stuff outside
Okay.
of let's
Can
go.
we go to spoilers because I have one very good example that I'm like.
Yes,
that's
we
so
can cut
I have a
spoilers.
very good example as to why I
Ladies
hate
and gentlemen,
him, but-
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now be going into spoilers. If you have not watched this special or short or longer episode or movie or whatever you wish to call it, leave now.
Yeah, this is your chance to close the thing.
Are you still here?
So 3, 2, 1. You still here? Good. We move.
Oh my god!
We move on.
When Winger said, "You're not actually going to," oh, he did it. that's totally something that Toothless would just think, and then it's like, yeah, yeah, Hiccup just said that. All right.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. That was a fun moment, but that's one compared to.
HC's going to say he hates him because he gave another speech.
Yeah.
Did he?
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this.
To Cutter, to get Cutter into the idea of wanting to be
right.
leader.
But then he didn't really succeed, did he?
This was such bullshit. Like, you need to believe in yourself and that you have, when you're given an opportunity to lead and stuff, it's like, who are you?
Again, I think
I love that part because everything Winger just did there was basically just made Cutter more insecure about leading, and then Purple just comes along like, oh, you can just boss everyone around, and he's like, oh, I'm Salt.
Yep.
That's it.
No, but something about this that what the problem I have with Winger up until this point is that he never talks outside of saying leader catchphrases and maybe one or two zingers.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
That's not true.
And then he actually gets some dialogue, and it's like and it's basically sucking Winger's dick. Let's be honest. And it's like,
wait,
God,
Winger gets dialogue sucking Winger's dick.
That's difficult.
I said it
also
was
kids show. Let's be careful.
I mean, no. I mean, no, that's not true.
I disagree with you. I think right, like Winger's character is supposed to be, the more serious straight man, because everything in the show is very kind of over the top and somewhat zany.
Yeah, but then again,
like, there's
as a
really
serious
nothing
man,
serious.
He doesn't really play off the other personalities as.
But I think that's the point
maybe
for him.
once.
I think that's the point for him, though. I think he's not supposed to. I think he's
a
supposed
bit
to be
more
that more
grounded.
serious, kind of trying to keep everything together, trying to kind of keep the zaniness down, but failing miserably almost every single time.
Okay, you know what? Maybe little kids show. I get it, but at the same time, every character needs to have some sort of purpose. If they don't, why do you write them?
His
In
purpose
that sense, why can't you make Summer the leader and not have Winger at all?
I mean, I would be all for that, but it's more
I don't
so.
like Summer. I don't know.
I mean,
like Summer.
I like Layla best, obviously.
Yeah,
to be fair, but Summer's definitely a close second. But again, I think right, like it's because Winger's supposed to be the quote unquote leader, but their leadership is kind of all over the place. Anyone can kind of be the leader, right? So it's really hard to fit Winger in a bit more.
Yeah.
But again, I think his kind of character is supposed to be that he doesn't necessarily fit in with everyone else, because everyone else is definitely more zany and weird and kind of over the top than he is.
Yeah, so if anything, he's a good leader because he lets other people lead as well.
This is true.
Yeah, but at the same time,
see, he's a good character.
Yeah, but let's play this game then, and then say when you read like a character bio and it says Winger is the leader, and it's like, okay, but when I watch the show itself, I couldn't for the life of me tell you who's supposed to be the leader.
Okay, let's see what the Wikia says about him, right?
Oh no.
What do they say about him?
A bastion of completely legitimately sourced information.
Yeah.
Apparently he's a Swiftwing. I didn't know that. Anyway.
Yeah, that's something we know.
Main protagonist, early life. What?
Wait,
what? how did I know this?
A bastion of completely legitimately sourced information.
I love how we jumped into the spoilers. We jumped into spoilers, and so far the last thing we did was actually talking about the special.
Well, yeah, this is true. All right, fine. So it started like How to Train Dragon 3. Let's start there.
Yeah, that's something I also like. This was really reminiscent of How to Train Dragon: The Hidden World. Like that, you have this ship at night, and then there's like a guy who, by the way, I totally called who this is. Like they played it up as like a mystery, and I'm like, yeah, that's the guy.
I mean, it wasn't a secret for like a nanosecond. It just immediately I was like, oh yeah, that's well done though.
Yeah, and I know Wolf, and I know Wolf liked it.
Wolf is probably got very excited when he saw that. It was just like, oh, even when Netflix just played a little trailer where you saw Well Done, it was like, oh yes, probably.
Well done, though.
That's how you get Wolf to like your thing. You put a Spanish pirate in there.
Racist.
How is this racist?
I'm just saying it.
How is this racist?
I'm just saying it. I mean, again, Waldundo is best character, right? Behind Morena.
Yeah, I was about to say Morena is way better.
Like, it's definitely, you put those two in and the show instantly gets better. And I think that's why they used them and they stuck away from, and they moved away from Hutzgalore and Magnus and all that, right? Because those are fun characters, but it is a bit samey at this point, right?
Yeah.
We did have an entire season kind of focused on Magnus as the villain, so let's move away from him for this special and do something with some of our lesser used, but still probably very well liked characters in Dando and Morena. And let's also involve 2 new characters who were also equally lovely.
Oh God,
Eric the what was it? Eric the what?
Wretched, right?
Eric the Wretched, yes, Eric the Wretched. And the fact that he just
Yeah.
kind of takes them off to the side and it's just a completely different hey
You
voice.
know,
I'm just a British guy.
two questions about this. One, am I the only one who thought he's like a blonde stoic?
I mean, yeah.
They connected it more. Maybe. I don't know.
And the second thing, when he takes him to the side and he does like I don't want. Does he sound like Tim Curry to you?
No.
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 Sadly, no.
It's so like I'm kind of sad I didn't check this to see if it's actually Tim Curry because it sounds exactly like him.
I don't think so. Wait, was it Eric the Wretched?
Yes.
Let's see. IMDb. Let's see if IMDb has him. No, they of course they don't.
It just came out the other day.
Riders. Well, yeah, but they have credits. I'm assuming they put it on there. Hunt for the Golden Dragon, IMDb.
Well,
Let's
so
see.
Basically.
Oh yeah, they do have it.
So as Ian searches for this, so yeah, you know, so like I said, I think the premise itself, you know, the plot in general is a good setup for a special where you know you have this golden egg of a new species of dragons that you need to find before you know other bad guys find it. That's fine. Considering the type of episode this is fine. I'm okay with this.
Yes.
And you know I also like kind of the comedy. You know when when Burple like shows them the game of like find the lobster and they actually you know point and then Winger like points out that the lobster is behind. You know, Dando, and says,
I mean, that was obvious, wasn't it?
yeah, but I like the idea of hey, a trickster knows a trickster, so you know this was actually fun. And there's a part later on where they encounter the bugs, and you know, and there's like a point where Agro asks Winger like if he would have preferred to have more bugs instead of being stuck, and it's like, do you want to face more bugs? No, I don't.
So you say Winger doesn't have a character? He's afraid of bugs.
I like the
character.
Yes, character.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he's afraid of bugs.
Also, the Eric is voiced by Jeff Bennett, which you might know from being Johnny Bravo.
Yeah. Oh no.
Or Kowalski.
Yeah. So yeah, Jeff Bennett is a fantastic voice actor. Maybe he was directed to sound like you know. Like
he is Eric the Wretched.
Okay. And on that note, we also have another new character, who's Russian.
Of course, we have a Russian pirate.
I love that. Russian pirate. That's so weird. And she's a Russian Viking pirate. It's just so right. Well, I mean, at least Russian pirate, at least anyways, but kind of with a bit of a Viking tint, maybe. Svetlana. It's ridiculous.
Why? Oh man, the tantrum she just has is just disappointed.
And I like her whenever she does have that tantrum. She just stomps her feet on the ground. It's like it's such a weird character, but I enjoyed her for the weirdness.
And then the completely overly sized comical Russian hat.
Yes.
Which she continuously has to write and keep herself balanced whenever she's wearing it.
Yep.
That was silly and stupid, and I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, Eric the Wretched I could take, but when she came along, I was just like, all right, sure. She's never coming back, is she? I feel like Eric the Wretched could be coming back, but I feel like, what's her name for Svetlana? Yeah, she's probably not coming back, realistically. It's just...
She's the main villain of the next season.
Oh
Yeah.
God. They have to band together with evil Hiccup to to go against Svetlana.
Okay, so but one of the things, they meet, they meet. What's the pirate's name again? I'm terrible with names. What's his name?
Svetlana.
Sorry? Yeah,
No.
Eric Direction.
Eric. So
Oh yeah.
they come.
They meet him first, yeah.
Yeah, so they come across him, and there's this entire thing, and then they have that, and then Eric tells his pilots, like, leave them here, because leave them here while we search for the treasure. They won't follow us.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they didn't expect, like, oh yeah, let's all go in. Like, it's not like these other 3 dragons are just gonna swooping and save him,
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, Eric did say he doesn't want to fight or anything like that, so it's like, hey,
Yeah.
maybe they'll escape, whatever.
No. I get the idea
Oh,
of
yeah,
not.
fair enough.
I get the idea of not wanting to fight, but at the same time, you could have done. Don't say, "Oh, they're not gonna follow us," because they're obviously going to follow you.
I do love how he keeps saying
I mean,
sorry to them.
technically,
That
they
he's
didn't
just
follow
like,
them.
I'm so sorry this all is happening.
Yeah.
It's just brilliant. Even after they found the golden dragon and the fighting it, he's like, I'm so sorry. It's just great. Oh, I love him so much.
A
I really
typical
hope he's
British
going
politeness. I'm being very
Yeah.
rude and mean, but I'm very sorry that I'm being very rude and mean.
back. It's so
Yeah.
good. I love it. It's so good.
Mhm. So, but okay. So after this, there is the actual hunt for the golden egg itself, which I did enjoy the puzzles and kind of how the rescue riders actually figure them out. You can each, like, most of them have their own moment to shine and figure out how this quest works, and I like that.
Also, by the way, can I just mention, when you said hunt, I remember that Winger then said, "Oh, it's more like a dragon hunt than a treasure hunt," and then, which made me think back to the kidnapping, and then everybody being like, "Oh no, but it was more like dragon napping." Like, that makes it less worse. It's
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah, just put dragon in something, and
it's like
instead.
Morena is just like, "Oh no, it wasn't kidnapping; it was dragon napping." I mean, can
No,
you blame him?
no. Like, it's like saying, "Oh, we're not podcasting; we're dragon casting." Does it really matter? We are doing the same thing just because
No,
we put dragon.
but I love how Morena just acts like, "Oh, it's way less worse."
Yeah.
And the dragon's there just being like, "Oh, you
And
bitch."
dragons can take care of themselves. It's not that bad.
That's fine. It's like he was gonna be successful anyway. But yes, they go in, yes, and then they both have their own solution, and I think it was quite clever. I don't know why. I feel like someone was pretty right here in being, why is that the answer? That seems very illogical. Like, who would think silence is golden?
Yeah, Summer
You
said that.
know,
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is something that I actually kind of want to give them credit to. That in any other show, they would like listen to Cutter, and then it turns out that they would be wrong. So they actually choose to split up just in
Yeah.
case. It doesn't matter in the
Oh,
long run because
shit.
both paths lead to the same result. But at the same time,
I'm sitting.
again, I enjoy that kind of thought that, what, maybe we should split up for a bit because we're not sure about the answer.
Right.
I just had the biggest epiphany, and I'm sitting with the biggest smile on my face.
Well,
Okay.
What's that line from Dagger? The trapper's trap can trap the trapper, or what was it?
yeah.
Something
The
like
trapper's
that.
trap can trap the trapper. Yeah.
It was Dagger who made the map. See, we all think we all think while Dondo says there's this dragon lover a long time ago who found the golden dragon and made this map to hide it with all these riddles. You'd think, oh, it's Hiccup. No, it was Dagger. Hence all the traps and hence the illogicalness behind it.
Oh,
Holy shit.
Oh shit. Who knows?
Well, yeah. We are probably going
I
to
want to
talk
get
about.
back to that. Yeah.
Yeah, we will get back to that because there is something big which is plot important later on that kind of.
We will still talk about it.
Yeah,
Just gotta wait.
Just it kind of kill, but it kind of the idea that it's ever going to be Dagger.
Yeah, I mean, that would be fun though if it was
Yeah.
Dagger, because he did
But
get converted to Race to the Edge. But we'll
yeah, and
we'll speculate.
speaking of which, when they come to like that that hole that Dak has to press, and then he pretends that he got his finger cut off. I'm like, yes, I would totally cut his finger off in a show like this. You
Maybe.
got
I
me.
mean, they completely just removed Hiccup's leg, so who knows?
but that there's barely any connection, right? And tonally, these two.
You say that. We'll get to that. But also, this
We'll
is
get
like
to
the
that in the
mini.
stream.
This is like the mini version of Hat Trade Dragon. So I mean, leg, finger. Just saying.
So point
Really, it should be a
is
toe, but
Fair enough. It's a bit difficult to put your toe in that. So I could give him that.
Maybe Dak is actually Drago, and this is the foreshadowing for him losing his arm.
Oh,
no,
man.
that's the other
Oh,
little
God.
kid who's Drago. But now that's no longer true because this is in the future, apparently, not the past, or not at the same time.
Well, we don't know.
Okay,
Waldando says
a
man who loved dragons in the past. That's what Waldando says.
Yes,
so in the
but
past.
we also have Borg the Bull, who loved dragons. So, not necessarily true.
But he didn't really love them. He just studied them.
And we'll get back to this, but Layla specifically said a Night Fury. Oh, those are rare, not one of a kind.
That's something I do want to point out, that when they say that Night Furies are rare, that's the point, because you could technically say that they are rare because there is one out there, which is Toothless.
They're rare because the Night Fury, because Toothless had kids, so now they're no longer one of a kind.
So is it in the past or is it in the future?
It's in the future, like we said.
Well, we don't know.
That's why
because
they're
rare. When did they get out of the hidden world?
Yeah, that's another thing.
Anyway, continue. Can we talk about how so they do the whole hunt? I love that, by the way. That Winger just was completely scared of bugs. Basically, it was like, oh shit, bugs.
Which again, this is the character development I've been longing for. He's afraid of bugs. Woo.
I don't know. I just loved it. I just love when Wing was like, oh god, not the bugs, and all the others were just like, really, bugs? That's your worst fear. It's just great. Anyway, yeah. So they get past the bugs, right, with the light, which fair enough, clever. And they get to the door. They do the whole door thing. Then the magnet comes along, right? Yeah. How did they get that magnet in there? How did they get a huge thing through like this small hole in the beginning?
The magnet was a thing, definitely.
I mean, they could definitely crush all the bugs with it, so that was no problem. But how did they get it through that small little gap? I didn't.
Svetlana carried it in her big hat.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Like every video game character, just stow it somewhere.
Yeah, it's it's like in Sonic where they just shove the Chaos Emeralds into their asses.
Yeah,
or
and
everything basically.
Yeah,
everything. Or everything they just pull and shove into their asses.
The only realistic game is Resident Evil, where you actually have to manage your inventory. But let's not get into that. Anyway, going back to Svetlana.
No. Actually, before this, I actually want to see a show where they actually pause and there's a screen like in Resident Evil, and they're like, "Shit, I don't have enough place to put this on."
Gosh darn it!
Have I got a show for you then?
I would love it if they just in the credits of this short just had like a little clip of Svetlana just with a crew just pushing that magnet into the cave, like, oh come on, get in.
No, like sometimes they make like spin-off and such of like telling the story from another character's perspective. I want to see the story of how they got that in there.
Yes.
Like,
I would love that story. I would love to know Svetlana's backstory.
by the way, Waldando is the villain. Who would have thunk?
Wow, that
Waldando
was a
comes
twist.
and meets them and steals the map back from them after they get out of the magnet and figure out how to open the door and figure out where the golden dragon is actually at, which is on a completely different island.
Yeah, I mean that wasn't much of a
because there's a map-shaped
was it?
hole on the door.
I mean that was clever enough.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
this
actually
was actually
neat.
pretty clever. This I liked.
Yeah, that was not too bad. I like that. I don't know why a dragon's head needed to bob it before it activated, but I mean, whatever. Yeah, no, that was cute.
Yeah. Also, by the way, when I say this doesn't, drag as much, but when Dak tells the dragons to like blast the walls, they try to get, they came through, which has now been collapsed. And then they're like, why won't we try to blast the wall? That there's an opening in it. It's like,
Oh no,
yeah.
I loved when they just all when Dak is just so excited, like, oh shoot this, come on, it's working, and they just get a fade to Dak just sitting down defeated, like, okay, fair enough, maybe it's just great.
Like
I love
said,
how they
like,
just
some of their
completely
humor.
ignore the shot limit as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this is something they forgot.
And some of their
well,
humor
the same as
is
that
on
Trade Dragon,
point.
you can't blame him.
Yeah, basically, kinda.
Some of their humor, when it hits really well.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think
like I said,
Agro
I
had a
actually
lot of
enjoyed
good
the humor.
of one-liners this episode, but I think Sky Jackson, I think is her VA. I think she does really good with like very much witty, sarcastic one-liners.
Oh yeah, I
Especially
love
when she plays
Aggro.
off of
Aggro is good.
off of other people. Like she did great for this special. Like she had a lot of really good one-liners and kind of sassy comebacks.
Did you just call me tiny? Christ. So good.
Can I light him on fire?
So,
Should have let me light him on fire.
Should have let me light me on fire. Yeah.
then so we kind of agree that they make their escape. Carter is kind of the leader for the operation now.
Yeah, so this is where the speech is, right?
I said my thoughts.
Yeah. I liked it. You didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But then comes something like the dragon pepper. What is this? The dragon pepper.
Oh, right. Well, that's what
That
Anna
was so
has.
silly. That was so silly. I loved it.
Yeah. This is
A
also
dragon,
when she said
dragon pepper, and it just makes them sneeze.
Well, I was kind of curious because the catapults they used were also green, so I was like, wait, did they actually just like do the dragon like proof metal in this? But no, they didn't. That's still just
That's just the
still
color.
combustible. Yeah, it's just the color. I would have gone mad if they actually did that though. Dragon.
And then another thing that happens. Another thing that happens here is that there's a point not long after where like Summer is pushing an entire ship with her head. And
She's
it's like,
ramming
no
into
way
it.
in hell she's that strong.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I saw this and I'm just laughing my ass off. It's like, you know what? I'll go along with it, but no.
Well, I mean, you don't know the currents of the sea. You know, maybe the currents helped her as well. Who knows? She is a sea dragon. Maybe she can talk to the water.
Yeah. So she's Aquaman.
And they did also
Yes.
show Dak and the others pushing the ship as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's also doesn't really save the situation, but
yeah. So yeah, when the dragon pepper got done and Summer this is when Summer said the H2 on it thing.
Ah,
which
I must have
I
completely
really
missed it.
Yeah, I really didn't need that. I hate that joke. It's
cringe. It's cringe.
It's
the best kind of cringe though. Just like let's wing it. It's the best kind of cringe. I love cringe like that.
Let's
It's great.
wing it. I do like the wing it stuff when they instead of high fives they just wing it.
Wing it in.
Wing it in.
Wing it
It's so
in,
good.
yeah.
I love that.
Like I
That's
said,
good.
I still want kids to say it in the playground.
Oh yeah, wing it in. Hell yeah.
I'd laugh my ass off if I heard it.
I would
I'd
love it.
laugh
I would
so
just
hard.
like, oh, when they grow up, they're gonna watch that Trade Dragon and they're gonna love it.
Or they're gonna hate it because it
Or
doesn't
they're
have
gonna hate it.
Winger. Where's Winger? I want the
This is-
blue one.
Why is that
Why don't they
black dragon so
talk?
much like Winger? Why is Toothless just a Winger ripoff?
Oh my god, yes, please. Why don't they talk? Why can't why can't the humans why can't Hiccup understand his dragon?
Oh, I mean that would be pretty obvious because he hunted
Well,
dragons.
honestly, he
Toothless,
does kind of.
so.
Hiccup understands Toothless more without.
Oh my, is that supposed to be good Magnus?
Good Magnus.
Good.
Oh man,
Please,
yes.
that'd be wonderful. I would love that.
Oh man.
Let
By
me
the
see
way,
complaints like that.
I love how they're trying to like kind of trick us into the pirates teaming up. Where earlier they said, "Oh, you know, every pirate to his own." It's like, what's the change in the agenda? And then later on, it's like, "Oh yeah, nothing changed at all."
Oh yeah, nothing changed now.
You
I
can't trust
didn't
the pirate.
expect.
Who can you trust?
I didn't expect anyone to really team up or expect the others to team up, and they didn't. But they did team up for a little bit just to be able to, locate the egg, I guess. So they wouldn't have to worry about fighting each other. They would just have to worry about the egg.
Eric believed in that. Eric the Wretched believed in that trust because if you can't trust a pirate, who can you trust in this day and age?
I mean that's true, but he also wanted to betray them, which was pretty obvious. So you can't
Half
trust
and
him
half.
either.
Half and half. He tried. He wanted to believe the others would be trustworthy, even after he planned on betraying them.
So the Rescue Riders pit the pirates against each other. Then they team up. They patrol the island while the Rescue Riders just search for the
Golden
Golden
Dragon.
Dragon.
Who we
And
do find
then-
and we get to see, but we should talk about the puzzle before the Golden Dragon.
Yeah. So
no. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
Whoa, we're skipping the wolves. The wolves were cute.
The wolves were adorable.
Yeah,
The wolves were
before the wolves,
absolutely
before the
adorable.
wolves, I love that at some point we could have said that the dragons fought sheep in this show.
Yes, this is
I
true.
like the fact that apparently there's sheep out there who do hate dragons. Imagine if that was... Just imagine those sheep having to deal with, like, Toothless, per se. Like, how ridiculous that would be. Or a monstrous nightmare, and those sheep are like, no, we attack. You take only dragons.
Or the Bewilderbeast. Imagine, like, this giant thing.
The sheep's just running up to him to tackle him.
No, I mean maybe they saw Toothless and stuff, and then they were scared, and then they saw these dragons. They're like, they're pussies. We could take them. I do love how they just bump into the dragons and they don't really do anything.
Yeah, they're just kind of like, that's not a hug. Ow. Ow.
It's just so stupid.
It hurts. Ow.
It's so good. And then the wolves come along and they're the cutest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
They were so cute. So yeah, they lead them to the cave, to the puzzle. Yeah, the connection to how to train a dragon.
I think this is so the puzzle is, we have to connect different dragons to their class, but instead of using some of the weirder dragons that they've introduced in the show, they specifically use the Hideous Sippleback, the Monstrous Nightmare, the Gronkle, the Deadly Natter, and the Night Fury. And there's a sixth dragon, but I don't think we're told what it is.
Oh no, that is the Golden Dragon.
Oh, that is the Golden Dragon. Okay.
Yeah, that is the Golden Dragon. But no, when they started talking about, it's a 7 classes of dragons, I was like, hold on a second.
We did see the class symbols
in my
Layla's
notes,
book
before, when they said the different classes of dragons, I'm like, that's a random thing to bring back, and then they actually started naming them. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So this is the first time, if I'm not mistaken, right, that we've heard them mention any other dragons outside of the Rescue Riders dragons, right?
Yeah, like that. That they actually point out that Burple looks like a Gronkle and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so
Burple thinking he's a strike class.
That's great. Oh, it's strike class. No, it's Boulder.
That was funny.
Oh, that was pretty good. No, yeah. So before they actually mentioned it, I already noticed the 2-headed dragon, and I was like, hold on, is that is that a Sippleback? I don't.
Hmm.
And then they said it was a Sippleback, and I was like, oh, they're not actually going to. By the way, they didn't even pick random dragons from the main franchise. They specifically
Yeah, they
picked
specifically,
all the
yeah.
dragons from the riders in How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, so this is the point, when Wolf said that maybe it was that, he had the theory that, it's Hiccup who made this puzzle, which is why he would choose those 6 specific dragons. But at the same time, there's also like something I thought about when he said Dagger, is that Dagger doesn't really have a personal connection to any of these dragons.
No.
They're the ones who
So
taught him to love dragons. That's why. So he used
No,
the
the
progenitors
only
of loving dragons.
no the only
It's
one
Dagger.
the only one who got him to love dragons was Shadowmaster, and you know it. So
True.
But basically, the thing is that it was cool to see this in this show, and to actually draw more connections, and it does, and wait, I'm not done. And it can lead to some interesting theories about this, but when it's all said and done, this didn't really add anything.
No.
It's what it when the entire special was done, this felt like a reference for the sake of having a reference.
Yeah.
And they could completely play along with it in the future of this show, and maybe something would happen. But as of now, as cool as it was, I really don't see the point.
Let's be clear, right? We're the only 3 people who watch Rescue Riders. Everyone else who watches this video just watches the video. They don't actually go and watch Rescue Riders. They're just here to hear our take. And so that's why this reference was put in for us 3, because the show creators know we're fans of How to Train Your Dragon. So they're like, hey, let's give the 3 people who watch our show something, a bone. Thank you.
Let's give
I
the people of
appreciate
the
it.
Berkcast,
We need something. Give us something, and they gave us something. Because now we can sit here and argue, was it Hiccup? Was it Dagger? Is this set in the future? Now we have all these things that we can connect back to actual How to Train Your Dragon and the main show and the main movies, and it's like, yes, arguments,
I don't
let's
like
go.
it. I liked it when they completely separated it from the franchise, because at least they don't try to ponder to the fans, and now it just seems like they slowly might actually try and reference the main franchise more, which
I hope so much.
I would heavily discourage, honestly.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
It depends.
Oh, I would.
It depends on how you look at it, because if it's just references for the sake of being references, I'm with Ian on this. Do your own thing, because I think one of the things that I said back when we reviewed the first season is that it is trying to be its own thing, but at the same time I think they are trying to like hold themselves back in a lot of cases, and put stuff in there just because people need to recognize this as How to Train Your Dragon. And if you're going to do something like this, just do your own thing, and keep and being this on the nose with it and having no point is not gonna help this show. It doesn't. So
Yeah.
I'm all with Ian on this.
I do like how they are confused about the Deadly Nadder, though, because the Deadly Nadder didn't used to be a tracker dragon until they found that they're supposedly good at tracking stuff.
Mhm.
I do like that they were a little confused about a Deadly Nadder and didn't get it right the first time. Where Dagger says like, wait, that's tracker. I like that. That was I don't know if that was intentional, but that was nice.
And they didn't know about the Night Fury either, that it was Strike, because they had very little information on it. Or Layla had very little information on it.
Well, I mean, they did eventually. I mean,
Well, yeah, they figured it out, but like, yeah, it was, there was good nods here, even if it is something that they never really use again or come back to. It was done well enough for what it was used for.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
if they do want it to be like, I did already notice that is this the first time we see handwriting in Rescue Riders, like in that font of the Vikings?
Oh, I don't know.
Because it might be,
Maybe.
and that was the first thing in the short where I was like, huh, they use the same alphabet in a way. The
More
same.
proof that it was Hiccup.
Yeah.
More
So
links.
if they do it like that, that would be neat. But
Or
please don't actually put Hiccup in this.
or
Yeah,
it's
I say again, if it has no point, then don't bother.
Yeah.
what's it's Nothing and Zephyr. It's one of those two instead. It's Zephyr.
It's yeah, I was about to
No,
say
no, they
nothing.
did
It's
say
definitely not
Yeah,
gonna.
nothing
they
is
did. They
not
did.
Definitely
going
not
to
gonna.
be.
They did
Right.
refer to. They did refer to the dragon lover as a he, so maybe not
Mm.
Zephyr.
Well, I mean, maybe they don't know.
True.
I mean,
The point is don't make this actually connect. I
hope they
don't think
do.
the show needs.
I want to see. If they do, I'm curious how they do it and how they pull it off. I'm very curious to see. If
to
they
be
do.
honest, the more we talk about it, the more I'm like, hell yeah, do it.
I mean, I say do it just because I want to see them do it. That's all. That's all I would want it for. I just want to see them do it and see how they connect it. I would be so curious, and I would love to see the fandom lose their shit.
Yeah, the fandom. Even now, the fandom would probably lose the shit over this.
Yeah, but the thing is it worth seeing people lose their shit over this if it's actually. No, in my opinion, no. As a fan myself, if there's going to be a connection, I want the connection to feel authentic, not just because I want to see people cry.
I don't think they're gonna cry. I just want to see them, completely lose their minds about, oh my god, it's connected. How, what, who, what, why? Because that's what it's gonna be.
I mean, the thing is, it's not like it ruins How Train Dragon for me. I mean,
no.
It's like the story there is told and it can't change. And if in Rescue Riders suddenly it changed, I'm like, well, that's bullshit.
Rescue Riders retconned the third movie or something.
So yeah, I mean,
Hiccup was a clone the entire time. He wasn't real.
Nothing and Zephyr were adopted.
Well,
Jack and Layla were the real kids, and they lost them at sea. I could keep doing this. It just gets better and better.
Oh man,
so many different theories.
Someone should do a fanfic of this.
Just collect all the different theories I've came up with here from from doing Rescue Riders. You'd have plenty of material to work with. Great prompts.
Oh man. Great.
Well, we get to see the Golden Dragon. That was fun.
Yes.
I liked the glitter blast joke. That got me. I laughed at
that. I love how she's so confident about herself. She's just like, oh, I can protect myself. And then it's like, oh, actually, never mind. Maybe not. She just sees like what damage normal dragons can do, and she's like, good point.
But back into this thing. So we meet the Golden Dragon, and this is the most pointless dragon breath ever. She just shoots gold.
Yeah.
Pointless.
Yeah, it's.
I would want to meet that dragon. That's a dragon I would definitely want to train and have as a best friend because God blast. All right, I'm rich now. Thank you.
Only if you kill her and sell her in bits.
No, have her just do a bunch of different, gold blasts, and I'm guessing her gold blasts are actual gold as well, not just glitter.
I do think that the plan.
Yeah. Oh god.
I think HC died.
Yeah, I think HC died. I was about to say,
Rescue Riders.
Did I go or did HC die? I don't.
Can I just say
he's back?
Rescue Riders didn't kill him.
To the friends of mine who listen to this podcast, don't call me when I'm doing a podcast. Thank you.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, basically, where was I? Okay.
I don't know.
So I will say that the plan they have to rescue the egg, where they're just actually using the rocks and the dragon's gold. That's actually clever, and it was a decent climax. I enjoyed this.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, fair
And
enough.
you have, Cutter. Again, I think Cutter was definitely this was definitely his, two-parter. This was definitely his special, right? Like, he's definitely the big one who gets the most attention in all this. And has the most going on with him, and definitely kind of stole the show for me, I think Cutter did. So it's nice to see, like, his plan, and you have, him trying to be tricky and everything and out-trick everyone, and then you have, um, you know, Waldondo kind of figure out, oh, it's, you're the one carrying the egg. Wait on the third one because it's actually the third one, and there's our, lobster. And actually, all along, no, it was no lobster whatsoever. The egg never left the island.
I mean, it was so obvious.
Oh, yeah, it was
It's
very obvious.
like,
But it's kind of like, haha, Waldondo didn't get it. Even he was tricked.
also,
And then they
what's
have a big fight, and all of a sudden, Svetlana's, second-hand man, it turns out to be not Borgi, but Morena in disguise, out of nowhere.
it's
I
just
think we should, it's no longer Deus Ex Machina, it's Deus Ex Morena at this point.
yeah.
Yeah. By the way, why did she need to dress up as an old man?
She had to get. I love how she got in with Svetlana's crew as well. It's like, apparently Morena knew Svetlana would be following them, and so it's kind of like, you had Waldondo steal the map from Svetlana, take that to the rescue riders. They went after Eric, who was followed by Svetlana, who was followed by Waldondo, who Morena knew all of this all along, and so infiltrated Svetlana's crew as her second-hand man somehow or another. It's just, there's so many mind games in like 3D. Yeah. It's just like,
I don't know how she did it in such
chess.
a short amount of time. Do you think she had this planned for like years now? She's like, oh man, maybe I need this. She just infiltrated in Svet. That's why she's not in the series that much.
Oh, because she's busy being Borgi.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, that's a great theory. I love it. That's why she's not around so much, because she's busy being Borgi for Svetlana.
Also, we've been past this for a long time, but I do love in the beginning that they knock on Morena's door, and and Waldondo is just like, oh, she's behind us. She's just like up in a tree.
Guess
like,
again.
Nope. So good.
And then she comes up, it's like, why are you still wearing this barrel? You could get out. And Waldondo just says, oh, it makes the kiddies feel safe. And then he breaks out, and she's like, oh, it took longer than what I thought it would. He's like, I wanted to show off. Like, God, I love these two.
Actually, so I do like the banter between Waldondo and Morena.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're great together.
I'm not sure if I want them to be romantically involved like I saw some people do, because age difference, but whatever.
Wait, what? Morena and Waldondo probably don't have that much of an age difference, do they?
Yeah, I think they're, I know Morena has white hair, but white hair does not mean old woman.
I don't know.
And I mean, have you seen Morena? It's not... There's no way she's like that old.
I don't know. I don't know. I get old from other stuff. Maybe the voice. Maybe.
Let's be honest. Morena probably dyes her hair just to make it white on purpose, to make her seem like she's older than what she is, just to mess with people.
Probably. Yeah.
Like the fact that she doesn't actually, her eyes work perfectly fine. She just wears the eye patch just because.
Also, technical advantage. Because people don't hit old people.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's get out of romantic Waldondo Morena stuff. What is the ship name, real quick? Walena. It's now Walena. Deal with it. Anyway, where were we? I think that's about the end of the show, doesn't it?
Pretty much, yeah.
Basically,
they rescue the egg.
See another,
they hatch the egg. Which really cute dragon. And I think that's the end, isn't? They end in the cave.
Yeah,
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
they end on the dragon eating its egg to get its gold blast, and then the baby dragon and the full-grown gold dragon blast at the screen, and then it fades to black in credits.
Yeah, it's not a great end, but it does the job.
It works.
What happened to Waldondo?
He's busy fighting off Eric and Svetlana.
Okay, fair enough.
That was his plan. Like, he told Marina, go, I will fight them off for you, because even though, I wish to get my revenge on you, we're still friends. Revenge can be later.
It's fair
So
enough.
Waldondo shall be back.
He probably didn't expect to get the egg anymore. So
Probably. Maybe that was his plan all along. Like, he knew he was... his major plan is to, train the rescue riders in the ways of, the pirates.
oh my god.
Someday soon, you'll see Dak and Layla being more like Waldondo and Morena, respectively.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So overall, because we pretty much covered all of this was all right.
Yeah, it was
It's
fun.
alright.
As
The
said,
connection to That's Train Dragon, I'm not sure yet, but
I hope
we'll
they do.
see.
I
This
so
is
hope
something
they do.
This is something. Like we will come back to this episode and be like, whoa.
yeah, just the third season coming out, and they just go back to old Berk, like old ruins, and we're like, oh shit.
I would so love it. Or they go back to Newburgh and its ruins, and it's like, whoa, mind blown. What happened?
God.
So many
Oh
questions. The fandom explodes. Do it, writers. Do it. You know you want to do it. Do it.
They just look at the statue of Stoic and they're like, oh, that must be the dragon love.
Oh god.
Oh man, there's not a statue of Hiccup, is there? There is.
You see a statue of Gobber. Oh, that must have been their chief.
Oh man, that'd be great. That'd be great. all the houses just on pillars, and they're like, the fuck happened here? How did they live? Why did they do that? Why is the half of the island empty?
Oh, I would love it. I would love it so much.
They would just poke fun at the movies, and I would totally be in for it.
Yes, I would. That would be great.
You know what? I could let it pass if they're doing it for the hell of it and for a joke, but if they're actually trying to be serious with this, give me a damn good explanation.
Oh, I would love it.
So anything else? But anything else about the special?
Nope.
Yeah, I think, as said before, it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly serviceable. If you want more of Rescue Riders, this is definitely more of that. If not,
when do we think the next season is coming out?
Because
these seasons came very quick behind each other.
Sometime this summer, I would say.
Yeah,
might be fall.
Let's see. When did they came out like half a year after each other, right? No, not even like 3 months.
Yeah, 3 months. Wow. I think
that's quicker than I thought it was.
Because the first one was when the concert was in Lille, and that was somewhere at the end of when was it? It was like October-ish? September.
No,
I think it was the end of September.
Yeah, it was the end of September. I remember this because you guys have you had something.
Yeah, so it's the 27th of September, and then it's the 7th of February. So it's like 3.5 months in between.
And now, just a month after, we have this special. So who knows?
Yeah,
this might also be them signifying this is them done and the end of it as well, because Netflix has been on kind of a thing of no more than 3 seasons, and it's rare that something gets more than 3 seasons on Netflix anymore.
Yeah, no, they pointed to way too much continuity here, like Waldondo being like, oh, revenge can be later, and like they introduce new characters. I don't think this is the end. This seems like a weird thing to be the end, especially after the second season, where, spoilers, by the way, for second season, where Daggett is basically like, you're officially my family now. So, I mean, yeah, I don't think this is the end of Rescue Riders. At least I'd be a little sad if it is.
it's got you.
Little.
It's grown on you.
It's got me.
Either that or you have Stockholm Syndrome, one of the two.
I hope it's the second.
I'll adopt these kids. I like them. I'm with Chief Duggett. I would totally adopt these kids.
I mean, oh yeah,
And I would definitely
sure.
play
Well,
favorites. Layla would be my favorite.
I
Sorry,
would, I would,
Dak.
I would, I would mostly only do it because they have dragons, not because of the kids. But whatever.
Rude.
you, you've got dragons. Oh, be my children. Have my babies. Oh God.
No, bad. No, Badian. Badian. Children's show. Bad.
Oh yeah, it's children's show. Forgot. Oh man, hey, they have gone into adoption, so I mean, they're edgy.
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 So
Before
I
this
think
delves any deeper
Yeah,
down
maybe we
that
should
hole.
stop. maybe we should stop.
Yeah. So that's all for this episode of the Berkcast. We hope you enjoy. What do you think about the new Rescue Rider special? Do you think there should be a bigger continuity, connection with the original How to Train a Dragon? You can tell us all about. Shut up, Ian. I didn't talk to you.
I agree.
You can tell us all about this in the comments
Definitely
section
should do it.
below,
Do it,
on
brothers.
our,
Yes.
Do it.
on
Do
our
it.
Tumblr,
Do
which
it.
is the
Do it.
Berkcast
Do it.
team, on our Twitter, which is Berkcast with a capital B, capital C, and you can find all of us in the How to Train a Dragon Valhalla Discord server. So with that said, happy 10th anniversary How to Train a Dragon. I was HC.
I was Wolf, and I've been high above the world.
I'm Ian. I have nothing to say.
And we'll talk to you all next time. Take care.
It's connected.
Bye-bye.